TGCRequiem here. We are playing modern blue-black Tezzeret with Jace the Mind Sculptor. Now legal in modern. So we're going to be on the draw for this match. Freddy Krueger. Ready. A little bit of a slow hand, but it gives us interaction. Turn 2 and 3. Our opponent tapped. Feel like this is cool. Definitely not explosive, but keepable. Alright, so this is going to be a good collective brutality hand. Essentially. Collective brutality is revealed. We're gonna probably get away with one since we're skimping on Thopter Foundry combo here tonight. So running a sideways land, which means we don't have awesome, excellent there. Sideways lands mean we don't have a Skullcrack. Use the island that they saw, as we want that for whir anyway. I mean, we definitely want Lily. The question becomes, what do we want to do with whir here? We definitely want the island over the swamp. Next turn we might play Liliana. Their collective melody following. Can't really whir for much of anything until we get to X2 or X4. We're certainly not drawing any artifacts so far. I think right now it's good and safe to do kind of an X3 and follow up with Liliana and then collective brutality, which means I think we have to pitch a Liliana, possibly a swamp. Unless we want to try and hope that we can get to a point where we can whir for Thopter combo. So we do need the second swamp to be able to cast Liliana. I think we're actually just going to get rid of Liliana and a whir here. Opponent is on a slow land draw. I think we just keep playing the lands out and try to whir for Thopter combo, essentially. We're not really going to get to a point where we can whir for The opponent's all tapped out. I think we could even just down tick Liliana here. Tezzeret's actually excellent here. We're just going to lead on Tezzeret. Uptick, see what we can get, and then we may down tick Liliana. Doctor Foundry is great, so this definitely sets us up into a position where we want to down tick the Liliana. So we can play Thopter Foundry and then get the board combo next turn. Alright, the opponent just concedes. Alright, so that's pretty good draw versus an opponent with a pretty terrible draw. Not very often you get to play against Burn, get to turn 6 and only have taken like 14 or like 6 points of damage. Alright, so Burn, we want to bring in Chalices. And bring in Fatal Pushes potentially. Nothing else we really need to bring in. Possibly bring in Tezzeret. We don't need Damnation, it's kind of slow. I don't know that Jace is actually necessary in the matchup at all. I do kind of like Search, even though Search is a little bit of a slower card. It actually helps us filter to the cards that matter more quickly. So we're definitely going to want our Welding Jars in for the matchup. Lightning Needle's good in case they have Grim Lavamancer, so maybe we should actually get another one in. Bridge is okay, but it's not like the greatest. I think we can easily cut these three. Pithing Needle is a bit much. I mean, we could try and lock our opponent out on certain fetch land. Don't know that I love that idea, that game. I mean, Jace is definitely a way to win, but I think it's just a little slow here. I'd rather have the Tezzeret. Just thinking. I'm just going to cut a bridge here. Not that I like cutting the whir. I'm just trying to think what I really want. Maybe a Talisman might be worth it, but again, we kind of need the speed if we're going to get to the Thopter Foundry combo. This is actually really interesting. We have like actually almost every single card we want here. We can turn on Opal turn 1 with Bauble Jar Opal, but that doesn't really do anything for us. This is kind of the exact opposite. This is a decent hand, I suppose, for 5. I'm actually going to put that on top because we do want that turn 2. It's going to help turn on War of Invention. There's really no reason to play out the Welding Jar or Opal yet. Probably just going to play this Rainforest and then fetch for a sideways Watery Grave. It has a stomping ground, so the Destructive Revelries are online. Oh man. Cards. And 2 points a day. Good draw, good draw. Does works. So I don't think we really want to run out the Opal here. Just gives information away that we don't need to give away. Also, they don't have any graveyard or Rift Bolt in there. Whatever they cast is going to be able to feed the Grim Lava Man. Normally we're at 11, 13 with the Spear. Do we actually want... I think we do want to save that. Draw another 0-mana artifact. Suddenly we can cast Tezzeret this turn with the Talisman. Or if we draw a land. Plus Tezzeret's nice, it puts a pressure on the opponent for us to potentially gain life if they don't attack it instead of us. Alright, so... Oh, that's kind of frustrating. We can cast Chalice. We want to cast Chalice for 2 here. Kind of in this weird spot. We can cast Opal, cast Chalice on 0, allows us to Tezzeret. It would also allow us to whir for 1/2 of the Thopter combo. But I think we have to play Tezzeret to push our opponent to attack it. I mean, they already have 1, 2, minimum of 2 points of damage on board. Bolts. Really, any 2 spells could get us. We could also chance and just play Chalice on 1 and then the Mox Opal. It turns off quite a few of their draws. It's not perfect, but it maybe gives us a little more time to do something with Tezzeret. I kind of feel like that's still Tezzeret probably. That does then give us the ability to cast Chalice on 2. Then down tick turn 1 of them. I don't know. think we're just gonna have to go for the Chalice on 1 here. Hopefully turn off the double spell. Maybe that'll give us enough time to work for a Thopter, Foundry, and back for some life gain and blockers. On the plus side, we'll be on the play next game, and hopefully we'll not have to mulligan into 5. Electric Brutality could be a good draw too. We're almost certainly dead. If the opponent doesn't have a spell, they can probably... This is really our only chance. It's not going to work, but they're just going to Grim Lavamancer us, and if they do here, then they can attack us with Swift Spear for lethal. Yeah, so once they activate the Lavamancer, we'll just skip them up. On to game 3. And Chalice on 2 is really strong here because it turns off their artifact hate. That's what we're looking. Kind of in the spot where I feel like Whir is kind of slow and Snaring Bridge is kind of slow. Whir does play around. We're in Snaring Bridge. We also don't get down on cards fast enough for Bridge to be as good, so I actually think I'm going to switch all out 1 in Snaring Bridge here. I really don't like this hand. I mean, push can buy us a little bit of time. Inventor's Fair is good, but we don't have any zeros. We'd have to use Bauble to draw into something. So I think we just mulligan here. This, however, is pretty good. We don't have black mana, but we should be able to get it with Talisman, so I think we keep this. Plus, again, Inventor's Fair should be representative of some life over the course of the game. So we're actually going to pitch Sword of the Meek here to Collective Brutality. I'll do the full 3, but I think we need Liliana. I almost feel like we actually have to pitch Inventor's Fair here. Maybe we just play the talisman, in which case that was probably a mistake. I think we just got to do this right now. Or they can hold up Skullcrack. Make it slow as possible for them so they can keep the skull cracks. Our recurring life gain is in such small chunks that if they have to skull crack one life at a time, we're hold up the skull cracks better. The opponent's actually putting themselves at a fairly low life total. Might even be able to consider if we were to draw into like a as in another couple, just starting to put the pressure on them. So we know they have a skull crack. We knew that we were going to draw Brutality, we would have Mishra's Baubled here. I think we might just play out the Liliana here and not uptick, run the risk of it killing us, and then plan to Brutality the opponent. And if they spend a Skull Crack to kill the Liliana, we're kind of okay with that. It ate a spell, which it was going to do anyway. If the opponent runs out of creature, we may crack the Bauble. We're going to have a essentially a good turn here of Brutality and Liliana. I'm just String Blade. I think we do. We Bauble. No, I think we're pretty good with what our top draws are. So now with Opal, we opponent's next draw is a land, so we've got 2 draw steps. Just need to draw any sort of gas. Here we are. So actually, if we waited one more turn, no, I still think this is right. We're gonna get the Thopter Foundry. This is gonna gain us life. It's gonna buy us a couple. We sack an artifact. We can return Sword of the Meek for pretty good shape. So we're going to wait till our turn to do this in case they have a Boros Charm, because they could kill us in response. We're going to force the pressure or issue by making them discard, which should make them fire off whatever they have. They don't have anything, so we're clear to go. We're going to start by using the Opal, sacrifice the Opal. Gain a bunch of life and this game is over. Alright, opponent concedes. And there we are. I think the thing, Thopter combo is really good. It's really strong in this matchup in particular. I really want to try and find a room to get it back up to a 3-2 split, but you know, I also really want to try and play Jason, and kind of this is where I've ended up at the moment. But I do think that there's still, you know, obviously tons of tweaking that can be done to get to that point. I'm thinking it's possible that we cut actually just one of the graveyard hates, either the Hill Spellbomb or the one of the opals, and then we could use that plus possibly one of the talismans to get the Thopter combo back in there as 3 split. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. If you like it, feel free to subscribe, and we'll be back with more later.